Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of our MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to have a look at a nice VS or volume spike sell setup that's just unfolded in the pre-market trading on the 3-minute NQ. I'd also like to demonstrate this on our new add-ons or our new scripts for TradingView. But before we start the video, we have to look at our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept, that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, these are our new add-ons for TradingView. So the trade setup I'd like to look at is this VS sell. As you can see, it's in the direction of our MTP trend. That's why you wouldn't be taking that buy setup nor these buy setup, because they're against our red MTP trend. For those of you who've been following MTPredictor for a while, know that MTPredictor is not a black box system. We don't follow all our trade setups blindly 100% of the time. We don't do this because we understand that markets are random half the time or slightly more. Therefore, you shouldn't be trading all the time. So how do we decide when the market pattern is non-random, i.e. clear? Well, for this we go to the higher time frame chart. So for 3-minute, it'll be going to a 15-minute. If you're, say, trading a daily chart, it'll be going out to the weekly. If you're, say, trading a hourly forex, you'd be going out to, say, something like the 4-hourly chart. So what we do is we place our DPs on the chart. Now these are on the chart in advance. What I can use is I can use our trading mode here, our bar replay, to go back to this bar here. And what I can do is I can then go to our decision point, and I want to place a DP off this pivot here. So that's 1, 2 pivots back. So I'll go pivots back, 2, and then enable the decision point. Oops, sorry, no, I wanted to do it off the last pivot. Sorry about that. So I'll just go forward a bit. Right, what I want to do is I want to do it off this pivot here. So before the market even gets there. So sorry about that. So again, that's two pivots back. Enable the DP. Sorry, 1 pivot back. I'll get this right in a moment. 1 pivot back. So it goes off this point here. So can you see how that was on the chart in advance before the market gets up to that level? What I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to place a rectangle over that, so when we change time frames, the area of the DP stays on the chart. Just lock that in. And what we can do now is we can now turn our DP off by unticking that, and now we can turn training mode off and go back to our shorter time frame chart. So if we go down to our shorter time frame chart, what you can see happened is, if we go back to here, can you see how this VS sell on the 3-minute chart unfolded at 15-minute DP resistance? So that was the DP level we placed on our chart on our for our 15-minute DP resistance. So in other words, the market was anticipating a reversal at higher time resistance. Our MTP trend was red stroke grey, therefore it shows you in the process of making a reversal. Let's place the analysis on this. This is an advanced trade setup. So I'll double click on our advanced trade setups. Now I want to find out which pivot this is. So to do that, I can put our pivot labels on. Just give that a second. And that's actually pivot number, looks like 333, doesn't it? So what I can do now is I can do on a specific pivot number. I can do that for pivot number 333. It's also 1 bar after the high. Can you see that? There's the high came in. The red sell bar was actually 1 bar off the high, so I can move an offset by 1 bar. Now if I place our analysis on, it will then do it at the level we want. I'll just turn the pivot labels off to clear the chart up a bit. And if I do OK now, you can see this was our trade setup. So there's our VS sell. Our position sizing allowed us to take 2 contracts. Our target was down here where the potential profit was a risk reward of 4.9 or just under 5 times the initial risk, and as you can see the NQ has declined nicely and it's now just reached this profit target here. So an example of a good profitable trade. Remember, we use position sizing, so when the losses come through, and they always will, the losses are kept small at -1R or 1 risk unit, but when the profits come through, we aim to have trades where the profits are large, not just in dollars, but in R units or risk units in relation to the initial risk. So when the losses come through, they're -1. In this case, this profit was plus 4.9 or just under 5R. So as you can see, a good example of our MTPredictor trade setups, in particular a VS sell that just came in on a 3-minute chart of the NQ using our new add-ons for TradingView.